Are homeowners associations actually necessary, or are they solving problems that already have laws? Most people are told HOAs exist to protect property values, keep neighborhoods orderly, and maintain shared spaces. That sounds reasonable. But once you look closely at how land use regulation already works, a deeper question emerges. Do we still need private governing corporations controlling housing, or is it time to move beyond the HOA model? This video is not legal advice. It is a fact-based public policy discussion about housing governance and reform. If this HOA reform content helps you, you can support the channel through the link in the video description or pinned comment. Support is completely optional and helps me continue producing independent research for homeowners, first-time buyers, seniors, veterans, and working families affected by HOA rules and enforcement. Thank you for supporting transparency, accountability, and property rights. Legally speaking, a homeowners association is a private corporation, usually organized as a nonprofit. When someone buys into an HOA community, they enter a private contractual system, commonly called covenants, conditions, and restrictions, or CC&Rs. These contracts allow the HOA to collect assessments, enforce private rules, manage common property, impose penalties. This authority does not come from the Constitution or from voters. It comes from contract law. That distinction matters because HOAs are not governments, even though they often exercise powers that resemble governmental authority in everyday life. Before HOAs even exist, local governments already regulate most aspects of housing and neighborhood life. Cities and counties enforce zoning and land use laws, building and safety codes, fire and health regulations, nuisance laws, property maintenance standards. These rules are enacted by elected officials, enforced by public agencies, and constrained by constitutional protections, transparency laws, and judicial oversight. In other words, the core regulatory functions people often associate with HOAs already exist in public law. That raises an important policy question. If government already regulates land use and safety, why should a parallel private enforcement system exist at all? HOAs expanded rapidly after World War II alongside suburban development. Their original purpose was largely administrative. They were created to maintain private roads, manage stormwater systems, operate shared amenities, handle infrastructure. Developers did not want municipalities to maintain. In many regions, governments made HOAs a condition of development approval. This shifted long-term infrastructure and maintenance costs away from cities and onto homeowners. Policy researchers often describe this as a cost-shifting model, where public responsibilities are transferred into private obligations. Under this model, homeowners typically pay property taxes, mortgage payments, insurance, utilities, plus HOA assessments. As communities age, HOA fees often rise. Special assessments may be imposed for major repairs, reserve shortfalls, infrastructure replacement, legal or administrative costs. Unlike public taxes, HOA fees are set through private governance rather than public budgeting. Many housing researchers note that this structure shifts long-term financial risk onto homeowners and contributes to housing affordability pressure. Most HOAs are granted enforcement authority through their governing documents. This may include the ability to issue violation notices, impose fines, suspend certain privileges, record liens, and in some states, initiate foreclosure for unpaid assessments. These powers exist because homeowners agreed to them contractually, not because HOAs are public governments. Unlike cities or counties, HOAs are generally not subject to the same constitutional due process protections, open records laws, or electoral accountability. Some states impose safeguards or limits, but the scope varies widely. Public governments are accountable through elections, public records laws, audits, courts, and media oversight. HOAs, by contrast, are typically governed internally by volunteer boards or private management companies. While homeowners can vote and attend meetings, participation is often low, and authority can become concentrated. This structure has fueled widespread policy debate about inconsistent enforcement, conflicts of interest, lack of transparency, recurring disputes, and litigation. Researchers and policymakers also note that when homeowners seek accountability or challenge decisions, conflicts may escalate. Some residents report concerns about retaliation or selective enforcement after raising complaints or requesting records. These dynamics can discourage participation, intensify disputes, and contribute to legal conflict. Persistent conflict and legal uncertainty can create stress for residents and undermine neighborhood stability. Independent housing research shows that the impact of HOAs on property values is mixed. Some studies find short-term price premiums in newer developments. Others show that those premiums can erode over time as fees rise and restrictions accumulate. Research also suggests that rising HOA dues can reduce buyer demand, unpredictable special assessments, increase financial risk, ongoing legal disputes, discourage buyers' governance, instability, weakens resale confidence. Because of this, many analysts conclude that HOA-governed housing does not consistently outperform comparable non-HOA housing once long-term costs and risks are considered. This brings us to the core policy question. If communities already have public laws, public courts, and public enforcement, why maintain a parallel private system that can impose mandatory fees, restrict property use, enforce penalties, and, in some states, foreclose over unpaid assessments? Many policy advocates argue that HOA foreclosure authority should be sharply limited or eliminated, because losing a home over relatively small private debts raises serious proportionality and consumer protection concerns. They also note that foreclosure and displacement can create broader public costs, including reduced neighborhood stability, strain on local services, and potential impacts on municipal tax bases when homes fall into distress or vacancy. From this perspective, private foreclosure authority does not only affect individual homeowners, it can shift social and fiscal burdens onto cities and counties. So, are HOAs actually necessary? From a policy standpoint, the answer may increasingly be no. Governments already regulate land use, safety, and property standards. HOAs add a layer of private governance, cost shifting, and enforcement power that many argue is outdated and harmful. Whether through reform or long-term abolition, the HOA model deserves serious re-examination. If you care about housing affordability, fairness, and property rights, this conversation matters. What do you think? Should the HOA system continue, or should we move beyond it? This content is provided for educational and informational purposes only and reflects general policy discussion and opinion. It does not constitute legal advice. Laws and regulations vary by jurisdiction, and viewers should consult a qualified attorney or local authority for advice regarding their specific situation.